Canto 8. To its own cost, there was a time the world believed that the fair Cyprian beamed rays of maddened love, revolving in the wheel of the third epicycle, so that the ancient peoples in their ancient error not only did her honor with sacrifice and votive cry, but honored Dione, and Cupid too, one as her mother, the other as her son, and told how once he sat in Dido's lap. And from her with whom I here begin, they took the name of the star that is wooed by the sun, now at her nape, now at her brow. I had not been aware of rising to that star, but was assured of being in it, when I observed my lady turn more beautiful. And as one sees a spark within a flame, or hears within a song a second voice, holding its note while the other comes and goes, so I saw within that light still other lights, swifter and slower in their circling motions, it seemed in measure to their inner sight. Winds racing down from a cold cloud, in their swift motion, whether visible or not, would seem impeded, slow, to one who had seen these heavenly lights come toward us, pausing in the dance begun among the lofty seraphim. And from among the closest that appeared rang out Hosanna, so that ever since I have not been without the wish to hear it. Then one alone drew nearer and began, all of us desire to bring you pleasure, so that you may in turn delight in us. In one orbit we revolve with these celestial princes, in one circle with one circling, and with a single thirst, to whom from the world you address these words, you who by understanding move the third heaven. We are filled with love, but to give you pleasure a little respite will be no less sweet to us. After I had raised my reverent eyes to my lady, and she had made them glad and made them sure of her consent, I turned them back to the light that had made such a promise, and, "Oh, who are you?" I asked, my voice expressing great affection. I watched the light grow larger and more luminescent as I spoke, with new joy added to its joy. Thus changed, it said to me, the world kept me but a little while below, and, had that time been longer, much evil that shall be would not have been. It is my happiness that hides me from you, as it enfolds and hides me in its shining rays, like the creature that is wrapped in its own silk. You loved me well, and with good reason. Had I remained below, to you I would have shown much more than the mere fronds of my affection. The left bank that is moistened by the Rhone, once it mingles waters with the Sorgue, awaited me as a sovereign at a time to come, as did Ausonia's horn, from where it borders Bari, Gaeta, and Catona, to the place where the Tronto and the Verde flow into the sea. On my brow already shone the crown of the country furrowed by the Danube, once it leaves behind its German banks. And fair Trinacria, overcast and murky, between Pequinus and Pelorus, above the bay most vexed by the Sirocco, darkened not by Typhon, but by rising sulphur, would still have waited for its kings, born through me of Charles and Rudolph, had not bad governance, which ever grieves the hearts of subject peoples, impelled Palermo to cry out, "Kill them, kill them." And if my brother but foresaw this, he would shun the greedy poverty of Catalonia, so that it not afflict him. For truly there is need that he or someone else should look to it, lest on his overloaded bark be laid a load of even greater weight. His stingy nature, though he came from worthy stock, would require officials who do not set their hearts on filling up their coffers. Since I sense that the deep joy your words have filled me with, my lord, is seen by you as clearly as it's seen by me. There where every good begins and ends, my joy is greater. And I also hold it dear that you discern this as you gaze on God. You have made me glad, now bring me light, for listening to your words I am confused. How from sweet seed may come a bitter fruit. Thus I to him, and he, if I can prove a truth to you, then you will have before your eyes an answer to the question on which you turn your back. The good, which revolves and gladdens all the realm you now are climbing, puts its plan to work through these great bodies. Not only are the natures of the souls foreseen within the mind that in itself is perfect, but along with their natures, their well-being. And thus whatsoever this bow shoots falls predisposed to a determined end, as a shaft directed to its target. Were this not so, the heavens you traverse would engender such effects as would not seem crafted but chaotic. And such cannot be, unless the intellects that impel the spheres here were defective, and defective too, the primal intellect, for failing to perfect them. Would you like to have this truth made clearer? And I, no, for I understand it cannot be that nature should weary in her necessary chores. And he continued, now tell me, would it be worse for a man on earth if he were not a social being? Yes, I agreed, and here I ask no proof. And can he be such if men down there on earth live not in different ways for different tasks? Not if your master is correct in this. Thus he brought his thesis to its point, and then concluded, the roots of your activities, therefore, are necessarily diverse. Thus one is born Solon, and another Xerxes, one Melchizedek, another one the man who flew up through the air and lost his son. Circling nature, which sets its seal on mortal wax, plies its craft with skill, but does not distinguish one house from another. Thus it happens that Esau differs even in the seed from Jacob, and Quirinus is born of so rude a father he is ascribed to Mars. Nature, once begotten, would always follow a course like that of its begetters, if divine providence did not intervene. Now what was behind you is before you, but that you may know how much it is you please me, I want you to wear this corollary as your cloak. Always, if nature meets a fate unsuited to it, like any kind of seed out of its native soil, it comes to a bad end. And if the world below paid more attention to the foundation nature lays and built on that, it would be peopled well. But no, you force into religion one born to wear the sword and make a king of one more fit for sermons, so that your path departs from the true way.